So what's up, you guys? You're welcome to the Pop Culture Parrots. Please do not forget to like, to subscribe, to turn on your post notifications so you get notified each time that I post. So let's get right into it. So fans are currently wondering the star power of the mighty Beyonce, the most awarded artist in Grammy history, Beyonce, the greatest pop star of the 21st century. Beyonce's star power is starting to decline. So fans are in speculation that, oh, it's Beyonce's time up. Is the era that she had so much influence in, is it over? After more than 20 long years of dominating and running the game. And here's why. So the stats are finally in for Mufasa the Lion King, and it quite did not meet box office expectation, with the major motion picture only ranking $35 million opening weekend against an almost $300 million budget for both production and marketing. So the movie only grossed $35 million in the opening weekend, and it took particularly $200 million to produce and $100 million in promo. And fans are like, Beyonce attended the premiere of the movie last week, of the motion picture last week, for promo purposes. She was somewhat actively involved in the promo. Blue Ivy was also there. So it was kind of like a full circle moment to see both Beyonce and Blue Ivy their voices star in the motion picture. So fans were expecting it to do a lot more numbers because obviously it's Beyonce. And they did not expect the numbers to quite dwindle like this. And if you know that The Lion King has a history of doing very well. The Lion King has generated billions of dollars, more than billions of dollars for Disney over the years. So much so that whenever Disney was seemingly out of money, the best option for them to cling to was just to create a new Lion King variation, and it would make some money for them. But apparently this was not the case, and fans are wondering, like, what's happening? Beyonce had starred in The Lion King back in 2019, and she was only brought up because back then they could see that she had significant impact in the rise of the sales of the show. And this is not the only thing that's causing the speculation as to whether Beyonce's time is over or whether her star power is on a decline. Because just in the past week, Tyla by Tyla surpassed Cowboy Carter by Beyonce to become the most streamed album by a black female artist on Spotify in 2024. Mind you, Beyonce's Cowboy Carter was announced at the Super Bowl in front of hundreds of millions of viewers and the promo that followed it. So for Tyla, who this is just her debut album, she's so new in the game, people were still even speculating if Tyla was a one-hit wonder. To come in and sweep Beyonce like that, with not even having as much promo as Beyonce, to do that is absolutely insane. So that was one of the first things that started the speculations. And then in the past few days, Pink Friday by Nicki Minaj surpassed Beyonce's 4 as the 6th best-selling album by a black female artist released in the 2010s. So Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday surpassed Beyonce's 4 as the 6th best-selling album by a black female artist released in the 2010s. So it was causing fans to speculate that, oh, are people not going back to listen to Beyonce? Are people not buying Beyonce's music anymore? Is there a longevity problem? Is there a problem with her music lasting over a long period of time? But do let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that Beyonce's star power is starting to dwindle and she's just been in the industry for such a long time and has failed to capture the new generation of new music listeners? Because whether you like it or not, there's a new generation coming up that is consuming music. So do you think Beyonce has been unable to market to them or capture their attention? So do let me know what you think in the comment section. Speaking of Tyla, right after she just surpassed Beyonce by having the most streamed album by a black female artist on Spotify this year, she went on to bag another win for herself, putting an end to the one-hit wonder allegations. Art by Tyla has reached 100 million streams on Spotify, becoming her 4th song to achieve this. I think if we really deep the fact that this is a South African girl, like she's not from the United States, this is a South African girl who has only dropped one debut album that was not even just so promoted. The only song that was really, really promoted from the album was Water, and now Push to Start. So those are the only 2 songs that were properly promoted from the album. And for her to achieve this, to have 4 songs surpass 100 million streams, and it's just super, super impressive. Like, we're super, super proud of you, Tyla. Keep shining. She's currently in Nigeria going on tour. Not necessarily on tour, but she was invited to perform, and she's just doing her thing and winning. So congratulations to Tyla. So speaking of winners, Nicki Minaj, who is still enjoying the proceeds of a over $100 million grossing tour, is enjoying the profits of putting quality into your business. As popular review platform Junip updates Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday nails to reflect 100% recommendations and a 4.95 out of 5-star rating from verified users. So Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday nails have been getting a reputation for quality from customers, and I think that's super impressive for Nicki to go into a business and be known for quality already. So now she has bagged a 4.95 review from verified users. Verified users are users whose reviews are checked, that's prioritizing quality of reviews over quantity of reviews. So a 4.95 out of 5-star ratings is absolutely insane. And if you know, you know that news in the industry is that the reason Nicki is on a break right now is that she's working on more than music. Because if you know, Nicki has already whispered to her barbs that she has already started working on the album last like early this year. She had already started working on the album that's supposed to come out next year. So not only is she continuing that working on the album, she's also planning new business or finalizing her new business ventures for 2025. So Nicki's in a money making mode, she's in a money making era, she's in a music making era, doing a lot. So we're just going to have to wait till 2025 to find out what Nicki has cooking in her pot. On the topic of Nicki, I feel one thing I've learned about Nicki is that time always proves that Nicki is usually right about a lot of things. The problem is that Nicki could present something in a way that people will be like, oh, she's mean, oh, she's wrong, she did this and she did that. Nicki is the bad person. Because it's always convenient to label Nicki the bad guy. But when the facts actually come out, a lot of the time or most of the time, Nicki is right. These things may take 10 years, 5 years, but when they finally come out, Nicki usually ends up being the one who was on the right side. For example, if you know Safari, Safari was Nicki's ex as early back at the beginning of her career down to 2010, 2011, 2012. They were still dating. And Safari was going around the industry talking about, oh, Nicki was mean to him. Nicki did this to him. He used to write his raps for Nicki. He used to write raps for Nicki that Nicki did not write her own raps, that he wrote it for her and somehow couldn't write for himself but could write for Nicki. So he was saying a lot. And then his girlfriend, Safari's girlfriend, Erica Mena, would come out to drag Nicki Minaj a lot while she was dating Safari. Obviously, because Safari kept feeding her lies about Nicki. But then again, fans have found out that Erica really did not like Nicki even before Safari. She was already talking mad-ish way before then. So Erica recently came out on a podcast to apologize and say that she was merely in love and was believing everything that Safari told her. So let's get into that.
I found out he was cheating on me the first time ever, and he was going to Chinese parlors.
Well, didn't Nicki Minaj say that he was paying for with her credit cards?
Before we get into that, I owe her the biggest apology. I owe her an apology because, like a lot of us women tend to do when we don't know any better, especially when we're hard, deep, wrapped, warped into the love bombing phases. The red flag that us women tend to ignore when a man sits there and talks to you
Love bombs.
about his ex and all the things she did to him. It's funny how life comes full circle because the same thing he did to her, he's doing to me years later. I remember him pouring his heart out to me about all the stuff she did to him, showing me videos of her reacting. And at the time, I didn't think to ask, well, what did you do to her?
Why does this man always have videos of these women reacting?
Exactly. And now, mind you, this is a video he was at one point going around. I found out later on. He was going around the industry showing to like around the time he was trying to bring her down when he was lying to people saying that he wrote for her, like literally saying whatever he could to like kind of ruin her career and take her credibility for her real hard-earned work. I owe this woman an apology because I sat there and allowed him to talk about her to me. From that came me saying things and like defending and vouching for him and speaking up on her in a way that was tacky, because at the end of the day, I didn't know the truth, especially not the truth that I know now. A lot of women do that. They get caught up with a man and he's so good to you that you allow him to gossip to you about his ex.
You get manipulated.
Yeah, and they never tell you what they did. They just tell you what
they did
and how crazy she is, and she did this and she did that. But it comes full circle. Tables always turn. Everything she has ever said about him is true.
I think that is so big of you to apologize to Nicki like
Yeah,
that,
I do.
especially publicly.
And I feel like
While I admit that it's hard for someone to apologize, and it was probably hard for Erica to apologize to Nicki, the truth is Erica's apology is not going to do nothing for Nicki. Like, Nicki's moved way past that. She doesn't need that apology anymore. Like, I'm not even sure she ever needed it to begin with. But I think the most important part of this is the clarification as to the fact that Safari never helped Nicki to write her raps. And Safari would come out years later to confess this, that he never helped her. But then he would lie that he never said so. He would lie that he never said that he helps Nicki write her raps. But here's Nicki gagging him in 2018 about the same topic.
Because it's not, and it was never the truth. And sometimes with me, a person knows that they can't really say anything to hurt me, but they know if they say that I will take it to heart. Fendi would have been the first
I forgot
person.
about that.
Fendi would have been the first person to tell you if I ever had any help with my writing. When we started the group, we all laughed at him at Safari because he I'm not trying to be funny, he couldn't rap. He couldn't rap.
I didn't mean to ask the question and you take an L. This is going bad.
He couldn't rap. So explain to me Safari's role in the group at that time.
He was the hype man.
Have you ever known any man, including Safari, to write raps for me?
Never. You wouldn't even keep no ideas.
I always thought I was better than every nigga. So I always thought like
Safari never wrote nothing.
and didn't 7 Up have to write his raps?
Don't do
No, I wrote all of his shit. Remember, Safari used to take my shit out the trash. He used to unfollow it. That rap he stood on K-Slay was my old rap.
But remember there was a Trinidadian boy who made up that rap who confronted Safari about stealing his rap. This is on my life. This is on my life. So he did something because he knew that was the only way to hurt me. Because people know how big I am on it. I came into this game, I'm talking about brand new into this shit, being adamant no man will ever write for me. And I've stood by that my whole fucking career. Okay? It don't give you a right to lie about someone's craft just because you know they're a woman and people would believe you. Now years later you want to come back and say, oh, by the way, I lied. Years later after you've tried to tarnish my image. And that's corny. And I've gotten over it because people can now, you can go and listen to Queen and you can hear the truth for your motherfucking self.
So that's about it for this video. So please don't forget to like, to subscribe, to turn on your post notifications so you get notified each time that I post. Goodbye.